Hi, Uncle Paul. Just wanted to wish you the best from somewhere that is probably quite familiar to you. I've been working here today, but I just wanted to say happy birthday from Abbey Road Studios. Much love.
John Lennon, one of the most iconic figures in music history, left behind more than just a legacy of revolutionary songs. He also left a family, including his elder son, Julian Lennon, whose relationship with the Beatles and with Paul McCartney has always been a subject of curiosity. Recently, Julian opened up about his complicated ties to his father's bandmates and shared surprising insights into the enduring mystery of his connection to Paul. Julian Lennon has admitted he's never truly been part of the Beatles' inner circle. When asked about the recent resurgence of interest in the Beatles following Peter Jackson's Get Back and Martin Scorsese's Beatles 64 documentaries, he told The Guardian, "It's news to me half the time. I'm not part of the inner circle. I never have been. You have to realize that when Dad left, when I was between 3 and 5, it was just Mum and me, and we had nothing to do with the Beatles or Dad. I visited him on the odd occasion, but we were very much on the outside. I'm thankful that Sean Lennon and I get on like a house on fire. We're best buddies and he tells me what he can, but things are pretty secret on the Beatles front." He continued, "I'd rather be excited and impressed by what they did and continue to do. As a fan, I'm just as curious as anybody else, although I do find myself going, how is it possible that there's another Beatles film?" Julian's honesty highlights a long-standing divide, one rooted in his early years. When John Lennon left Julian's mother, Cynthia Lennon, in the late 1960s to be with Yoko Ono, it created a separation that would deeply affect Julian's connection to his father, and by extension, the Beatles. Growing up, Julian's life was far removed from the glamorous world of the Beatles. While Sean Lennon, John's son with Yoko Ono, grew up in the heart of John's later life and career, Julian and his mother were left on the outside. He described visiting his father only on rare occasions, and during those visits, the Beatles seemed more like distant legends than family friends. Despite this distance, Julian developed a deep admiration for his father's music and legacy. But his relationship with the Beatles, especially Paul McCartney, remained a complex and delicate subject. Paul McCartney's relationship with Julian Lennon is a fascinating piece of Beatles lore. After John's departure from Julian's life, Paul stepped in as a kind of surrogate uncle, writing the tender song Hey Jude to comfort Julian during his parents' separation. The song remains a powerful testament to Paul's care for Julian, but as Julian grew older, their connection became less visible. In an interview, Julian Lennon spoke about Paul McCartney writing Hey Jude about him.
When did you realize that Paul McCartney, the Beatles song Hey Jude, which was originally Hey Jules, was really about you?
Well, I mean, he did, we actually, when I was probably, I think it was doing some promotional work on the promotional circuit, shall I say, actually in New York for the first album. And we were both doing, Paul and I were both doing the same show. And it was at the Carlisle Hotel. I remember it quite clearly. It's got a couple of pictures of us there. And I wanted to confirm it with him because, you know, I hadn't really spoken to him during my teens as such. So, and he just confirmed that that was the case and that was the song. And then, you know, I think I've heard that song more than any other human on the planet. I thank him for it dearly, but it's almost sent me to the loony bin as well.
On a late-night TV music show in 1984, Julian Lennon was also asked whether he got an advantage in career due to his father.
Now, what do you think? Do you think a lot of people think that you've got a huge advantage with your career now because of your father, or do you think that in fact you've got a huge disadvantage?
Works both ways, you know. God, it's a hard one, that.
I mean, did it make it easy for you to get your record contract, for example?
No, because when we actually played the demo tapes around, there was no mention of the name involved, you know, it was just a question of playing the tapes. So, I mean, if the people liked the tapes on their own, and the name came in later, well, it was okay, you know. I did it on my own merit, like.